Hello, party people. Hi, guys. So, welcome to today's Free Yourself Friday session. I've probably been absentee for the last couple of weeks. If you don't know, my name is Shakima, and today's sessions usually kicked off with three key, tips for freeing yourself in order to become more of the authentic version of yourself, as well as, once the room gets a little bit more filled up, we'll be able to start taking a one free question to do a reading for that. Hi! Can't really see or tell who's behind, but thank you. Welcome for sort of stopping in. And just sort of giving you guys a bit of a breakdown, I guess. I've recently had my solar return on the 21st of last month, so it was a little bit action-packed for me for the last couple of weeks. But I'm back and ready, I guess, to sort of go ahead and bring any insights that I can sort of give to you guys. So in light, I guess, of recent events, what I will say is that I guess going in terms of hello, Varsity. Nice to sort of have you stop into the space. I'm actually just going to sort of kick off the space with thank you. I thought about doing something different. I figured it's a new year. Thank you. I figured it's a new year, sort of something different going into the year. I'm actually in the process of going red, so I'm lifting color. But one of the things that I actually, funny enough, really wanted to talk about, something that's going on, like a major thing, I guess, in terms of like pop culture at the minute. The whole, I guess, Kardashian story, the whole Jordan Woods sort of take on everything. I think she sort of done her red table talk. Ironically, I'm at the red table. So I just wanted to utilize that maybe as an opportunity to sort of give three key tips for freeing yourself. And I think what I will say is that she handled the situation fairly well. She did sort of carry herself well in the situation. One of the things that I would probably say personally with a situation like that, firstly, let me just address she's young. We've all done silly things at 21. I was actually saying to my mum prior to, I don't know that I could have said that I'm this person today, or I wouldn't have been able to sort of foresight, at 21, being able to say that I would be someone that is wanting to just be like blatantly honest going through the rest of my life. But you have to live to learn, and I think one of the most important key tips that I'd say, having sort of seen how that situation unfolded, is to, I guess, do not compromise your integrity for anyone. That's probably what I would say, because sometimes there are people that will show up in your experience to take you out of character, and obviously you will learn from those situations as well, but it would do you the world of good to minimize those lessons as much as possible, because the more people that show up, the more baggage they bring with them, the more, I guess, issues you create for yourself as far as things that you will then have to heal from. So my first key tip is to just always be true to your character and be mindful of when other people are taking you out of who you really and truly are. My second key tip is always be mindful of the people that you keep around you and make sure that they're a reflection of who you are aspiring to become. Even if you are not necessarily that person that you want to be just yet, if you continue to sort of keep the same congregation of people that are a reflection of you in your lower vibrational form of yourself, you will just continue to create that version of yourself. So the best thing that you can do for yourself is to sort of align yourself with a congregation that is more in alignment with who you are projecting your future self to become, basically who you're aspiring to be. I think it's definitely important for your own personal growth and development. Otherwise, by sticking to your current circle, if you will, it delays the process for you. As they say, birds of a feather flock together. That is the absolute truth. So, hello, beautiful. Hi. If it's your first time, I'm just doing the three key tips for freeing yourself. No, absolutely, definitely. I guess start putting your question out there. I'm just going on to my third key tip for freeing yourself. And I think the third tip that I would probably sort of give is to forgive yourself. I think that's probably the most important thing, because a lot of the times we go through these cycles, we go through these shifts, and one of the main things that kind of blocks us moving forward is the fact that we don't forgive ourselves, and so often we're so quick to forgive others. um yeah, no, that's fine. I will definitely have a look and see what's coming through for you, Phantom. Yeah, just be sure to always know that every single experience is here to teach you something about yourself. So just forgive yourself, if you don't learn your lesson in that moment, what's the worst that can happen going forward? By forgiveness, Hello, beautiful. So I'm going to kick off. That's okay. So I'm going to kick off the reading with Funk and see what is the general reading for the lovely Gemini. I love Gemini energy, actually. My partner's a Gemini. So it's always interesting to sort of see what comes through. Right now, what I will say is that yeah, that's perfectly fine, beautiful. What I will say, for the most part, I do feel like there's some personal frustrations. I want to say, I feel like this may be connected to your romantic situation. There seems to be some sort of breakdown. It feels like somebody's holding back. I would like an English woman say. Nope, that's perfectly fine. Okay. Right, so we'll go through and see what's going on for you, Sim. For the most part, I do feel like someone's holding back for Phantom. So in terms of this situation, again, I want to say that it feels like a romantic connection, but somebody's holding off from communication because they are really quite indecisive about a recent separation that you guys have had. I want to say this might be your energy, actually. It feels like somebody's working through some forgiveness. They're sort of releasing the pain of the past separation. So from what I can feel in the space, it feels like you might be open to new connections. It feels like you might be open to, I guess, a new interaction with someone. It feels like the past circumstances were, it felt like a limited investment almost, like you guys weren't able to really sort of go the long run with the situation. So definitely just to try to be mindful, I guess, of how things. Yeah. Okay. Nope, that's perfectly fine. See, as you said that, yeah, as you said that, my the cards just kind of flew. What I will say at the minute, like, it was an educational process for you. You learned a lot from the situation. You learned what you don't want with that sort of situation, and now you know not to go forward making sort of impulsive decisions. And I think what you learned, this is what I say to you, because I feel like that person kind of showed you who they were maybe beforehand, and you chose to give them the benefit of the doubt, and they still weren't able to live up to those expectations because they weren't ready. I'm gonna say that much. But for the most part, you being open, it does mean that, don't sort of close yourself off at the same time. You want to make sure that you're making decisions from a point where you're not just making quick decisions. What is the Aries? Okay, we'll have a look, guys. We'll have a look and sort of see what's going on. Definitely, Phantom. Just don't be too much of a perfectionist to the point where you let a good thing go. Basically, that's what I'd say to you. That's what's sort of coming up for you. Hello, Wallflower. So Sims wanted to understand more about, I guess, what the intentions were as far as the friends around, if I'm not mistaken, because I feel like they're flying through so quickly. No, that's perfectly fine. Thank you for stopping in. Definitely be sure to sort of subscribe, because I do this every week, guys. So you can stop in for your free reading. Oh, God, it feels like I'm going to say this to you, Sim. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's okay. I got that vibe. It feels like the friendship has been very rocky. Right now, I can tell that you're trying to be a little bit more. You're being a little bit more methodical about the situation. You're really trying to protect yourself. Yeah, I get that vibe. You're really trying to protect yourself because you can't sort of, how can I put it? You can't really sort of tell that they're being sincere about their generosity. It almost feels like they have an agenda, basically. So I completely get that. Let's have a look and see what is their agenda, if anything, you know. Okay. Let's have a little look. I'll have a look for you, Wallflower. Let's just have a look and see what's going on with Sim's friends. Let's have a look and see what's going on with the friend. I'm going to say this much. I don't even think the friend is aware of their own intentions. So that's something to be mindful of as well. Yeah. What I'm going to say to you is I feel like this person, they don't necessarily have bad intentions towards you, but I don't think that they're aware of their intentions themselves. Okay, Natasha, we'll definitely have a look and see what's coming. So Wallflower wants to know about the travel situation coming in June, and you want to know about the, I guess, romantic situations. What I'm going to say to you is that you are going to have to be very careful in terms of how you make decisions with this person, because they're not aware of their intentions, Sims. That's what I'd say to you. I think that they want to be able to do good by you, but they don't. I'm not going to say they don't know how to be a good person, but they're still in the process of learning how to be a good friend. So it's not personal towards you, but I do feel like you guys may be going through some sort of karmic relationship where you guys are really going to, I guess, get to learn a lot about each other by learning what not to do in the friendship. But for the most part, I do feel like they have genuine intentions towards you. They might just fall short sometimes. They're not going to live up or meet all of your expectations. I'm not going to say to be completely patient with this person, because I feel like they are very challenging. That's the kind of energy that I get from them. There's someone that's got a sharp tongue. They sort of like say some shit sometimes, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, no, I didn't say that. So I understand why you're a little bit cautious with this person, but just know that throughout the whole process, like, there's a good reason for you wanting to protect yourself and wanting to stand back. Just kind of make sure that you're not giving your all to the situation, basically. You know, be mindful, basically. Just kind of watch and be observant is the best thing that I'd say to you for the situation. They're not really sure of their own agendas, basically. I think Wallflower was the next person that wanted to know about the trip. Let's have a little look. What can Wallflower expect for the trip to come in June? Okay, you're definitely... I know, that's perfectly fine. Okay, Chrissy. Okay, no, that's fine. What was your question again, Chrissy? I'm a little bit all over the place. They're coming in so quickly. I think Chrissy wanted to know, what was your question? Was it about romance? Let's have a little look. We kind of have to go all the way back in and sort of have a look and see. Right, Chrissy. Okay, was the Aries man's mood? Okay, that's perfectly fine. Let's have a look. Okay, so for Chrissy, for the most part, it feels like you guys are moving away from like disruptive arguments. I can tell that you guys have been, no, that's perfectly fine. You guys have been having some sort of contention previously, and it feels like there's been some sort of separation. I don't know if this is a recent separation on your end or his end, or maybe you guys were together before and you sort of pulled apart from each other, but it does feel like there has been some sort of recent split. I'm actually going to like get the cards all jumbled to sort of figure this one out, because it feels like you guys have been interacting through a lot of dysfunction for a while. So let's just have a little look. Okay, yes, you certainly can. It's probably a good couple in front of you, so I'm gonna say that much. Okay, so for the most part, things are gonna work out for you guys. I'm gonna say this much. I feel like it's a situation where you have really contemplated what you want from this person. You guys are really, I feel like you guys have been together for a while. And you guys are going through a transition. And I think that this transition will give you guys the opportunity to really make a commitment to each other. I feel like before, it almost felt like you guys were in limbo. It's almost like you guys wanted to be with each other, wasn't quite sure. You guys were making a lot of young mistakes. And I think we both just, it feels like you guys are like the back and forth. I feel like you guys are really going to be able to make a commitment to each other. There feels like there's going to be a transition with you guys' relationship where you can actually sort of, I guess, do you think, I definitely think that there's a crush that's reciprocated, because I feel like it is both ways. But I feel like you guys are both quite shy. It's almost like you guys feel the energy between each other. Yeah, I feel like it might be a collective thing for both of you guys. I think that he feels the same way towards you as well. I think that for him, he's just a little bit cautious because I guess past situations have him kind of questioning whether or not he can actually prioritize a relationship right now. And I think that's the main thing for him. But I do feel like you guys will be able to make a commitment to each other. It's going to take some time, I guess, because he's got a bit of baggage. That's what I'd say. He's got a bit of baggage in the sense that I feel like there may be some kids involved, but you guys kind of will figure things out. It's just going to take some time. Okay. Right. Well, I think Wallflower was, yeah, I did feel like there's some codependency. So there are other people that are involved. So that's why he's a little bit hesitant about, just jumping straight into things, but he will make the decision. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, Wallflower. Thank you for staying with us. Love that. Okay, let's see. What can Wallflower expect from their travel spirit? Okay. This is definitely going to be, I can tell that this was an impulsive trip as far as like you just deciding that you wanted to just go and do something new. I don't know if you're connecting with someone from your past with this situation. It does feel like, yeah, it feels like this is some sort of connection from the past that's going to be made with this type of situation. I'm not too sure where you're going. Let's have a little look and see what's the outcome for you. I don't feel like it's going to be anything negative, but I do feel like you'll be making some sort of connection. Let's have a look. What's the trip going to be like for Wallflower? Okay. Well, there's definitely a lot going on, to say the least. Okay, so for the most part, okay, we'll have a look and see, Kiara. For the most part, it seems like, how can I put it? There has been some disorganization, I guess, with the trip, and you will learn from the disorganization. I think what I will say is dot all your I's and cross all your T's, because with this situation, hello, Evelyn, lovely to have you in, beautiful. I think that there's going to be something. So what I see basically in the situation is that you need to make sure that you've got all of your bits and pieces with you, because something, you have to keep all your paperwork together. I feel like you lose something. I don't feel like it's going to be a bad trip, but I do feel like organization is going to be key for you, because I feel like at some point towards the end of your trip you do lose some sort of paperwork, and it just kind of not necessarily puts a downer on things, but it does sort of I guess set you back a bit financially, because you then have to, I guess, fork out to cover the expense of whatever it is that you have basically lost. So just be mindful. I think when you're traveling as well, I'm not even too sure what sort of planetary alignments are going to be going on that time, because I don't have your dates as far as travel. But if you do want to email me over your dates, my email is shakima8@gmail.com, and I'll be able to have a look and see what planetary movements are going to be happening for you, and then you can sort of, I guess, plan accordingly, because it will affect what's going on for you. Yeah, I do feel like there will be some sort of there will be some issues, I guess, with paperwork. So just be mindful of that. Okay. Now let's have a little look, because there's been so much that's been going on. Let's have a little look and see who was after Wallflower. I think it was Natasha. Okay, so Natasha wanted to know, is there a relationship coming? Okay, so for Natasha, is there a relationship coming for Natasha, Spirit? Let's have a little look and see. Okay, I'm going to say this much. I feel like, personally speaking, looking at the situation, there has been some, I guess, emotional immaturities. I feel like your past situation, it feels, this may be you or the other person, but someone was really quite immature in that relationship. And because of that, there's almost like a lack of self-discipline. So that's something to be mindful of, because that's where you're moving forward into. I feel like there's the opportunity for you to have more of a mature relationship, as opposed to what you did in the past. Let's have a look. Natasha. Relationship coming in for Natasha. What can we see, Spirit? Relationship coming in for Natasha. I almost want to do some... It feels like things have been quite rocky for you. I'm going to say that much. There's been quite a bit of... Yeah. For the most part, I'm going to say this. You're restricting yourself in terms of the type of people that you want. If there's like a long list of things that you do have, which is great, it's awesome to have, like, expectations for yourself. That's never really a bad thing. Hello, Manisha. What I would say... No, that's perfectly fine, Wallflower. Thank you. Thank you. What I'd say is, don't limit yourself, because I can see that at the minute it's almost like I don't want to say you have options per se, but I think that there's people that you're looking at, but you have like this long list of things that they need to meet. And I'm not saying that a list isn't good. I'm not saying that, girl. What I'm saying is, maybe, find a middle ground. So if they don't have this, what is the best compromise that they could potentially meet for you to be able to say, okay, I can accept you as you are and navigate to where you are trying to get to, because it's going to be important for a relationship. I do feel like the next relationship you do get into, this is important though, I feel like the next relationship you get into is going to be a mature relationship. You guys are both going to be very communicative. You guys are going to be able to sort of sit down and make plans, make decisions together. It will definitely be an efficient relationship where you guys are really trying to make sure that you're not really sort of being dishonest with each other, because I think that that's been like a real issue for you in the past, dishonesty in relationships, and you're moving away from that. So that is something that I do see on the cards for you, but at the same time, I feel like you need to be careful in terms of communication, because it does feel like somebody has a sharp tongue, and it doesn't help situations much. It really is going to affect the way that you guys are able to create. But I do feel like the next relationship is going to be a more mature version of self. Okay? And that's what the angels had to say. I literally just had to split the deck just to get confirmation. Okay? So that's a definite yes for you. But it's going to be a situation where you kind of just have to make sure that you guys are communicating on open grounds. And it's going to be happening within the next few months for you. Okay? I want to say it's going to be at least, I want to say 3 to 3.5 months before you guys are really able to start interacting in that way, where it feels like, okay, we're now really committed to each other. Because I think right now you have, like I said, don't want to call them options, but you have your eyes on a couple of people, and, at the same time, because you are restricting how you want the situations to play out, it's not giving you the opportunity to just make an actual decision. But things will change in that department in the next few months for you. Okay? And it's going to be a good one. It feels like a good relationship. That's what I'd say to you. It doesn't feel like it's too much of a compromise. Yeah, no, I kind of got that vibe. That's okay, beautiful. Thank you for showing up and sharing with us. Let's have a little look and see who else is on the cards. Okay, so we've actually gone through and done... Okay, so we're catching up, guys. I think the next person... Okay, Queen Bean is no longer with the tribe, I guess. Kira Woods. Let's have a look. Dijon. Okay, so how does Dijon feel? Okay, let's have a look for Kira Woods. How does Dijon feel about Kiara, Spirit? Let's have a look and see. How does Dijon feel about Kiara? Oh, thank y'all, folks. Thank you, guys. Okay, so I'm going to say this much. As far as the situation, it feels like somebody has a tendency to be a little bit controlling. So things are really going to be shifting in that sense, I don't feel like it's going to be like that forever. Let's see. How does Dijon feel towards Kiara? Let's have a look, Spirit. As clearly as you can. What can you see in the space? Okay. For the most part, I feel like with this situation, they're a little bit all over the place when it comes to you. They don't know what to make of the situation. I feel like, I'm going to say this, you're not very clear in terms of whether or not you want to be with this person. I think that they're picking up on that kind of vibe. I think that they aren't sure of what your motives are with the situation. They do feel like they would like to get to know you on a deeper level, but at the same time, it's almost like you give mixed messages. Sorry, Han, you're giving mixed messages, so they don't know how to work you out at the minute. And I think if you are just a little bit more clear, they would then be able to sort of say, okay, right, this is what she wants from me, and this is how I'm going to be able to sort of, navigate through that process with her. But because you're being one way, 1 minute, what they're saying to me is like it's almost I don't want to say sort of like bipolar energy, but it feels like 1 minute you're one way and it's confusing as hell, girl. Like that's the energy that I'm picking up in this space, because I feel like I want to be looking like this way, this way, this way. 1 minute you're saying one thing, and then the next minute it's like you just go hot and cold. So make up your mind and stick to it. I think that Dijon wants to get to know you, but he feels like you may be blocking an opportunity for him to be able to do so, because you're quite guarded and you're not allowing for him to see all of who you are. You just kind of give him snippets at times when you feel comfortable enough to do so. And that's confusing for anyone. It's confusing for me, girl, and I'm just reading the energy, so I can't imagine the communication. Okay, let's have a little look and see who was next. Okay, I think Lorena. How does he feel about me? Let's have a little look. We'll have a look. You're next, Evelyn. I've got you, girl. You are next. Let's have a look and see what's going on for Lorena with D. How does D feel about Lorena? Okay. They feel good about the situation. They do feel as though, there is the opportunity for you guys to maybe make a commitment to each other, but it feels risky at the same time. So I want to say this. I feel like it feels risky because you have a sharp tongue. You got a bit of an attitude, girl. So I feel like they're weighing up their odds. Like, can I actually sort of like, can I take her on type thing? You know? But I do feel like they want you. I'm going to say that much. I feel like they want to build with you. I feel like they want to really make a commitment to you. But they're just a little bit cautious at the same time, because it feels like taking a risk with you. Yeah, I do feel like there will be an opportunity for you guys to really sort of create something new in the space. The communication seems to be quite well, but you guys aren't really like, it feels like there's no direction with both of you guys. So I think you at least define what it is that you want from this relationship, and then you guys can actively start navigating towards that process. I feel like right now there's just no lack of direction on either part, and it's really sort of leaving both of you guys in limbo. Nobody's sure about what's going on. I feel like you want something more. You don't want to say it and put that out there. And I also feel like they potentially like see you as a good match. They feel like you are wifey material, but it takes a little bit more at the same time. I feel like you guys aren't necessarily giving each other the opportunity to really get to know each other sincerely, is what I'd say. Okay, can I get message? Ooh, can I get a message for the month of March? What are the things I'm going to accomplish, and what is coming into my life? Okay, let's have a look for you, Manisha. Let's have a look and see what's going on for Manisha in the month of March. What can you see, Spirit? What can you see? Okay. Oh God, girl, you've got a lot going on in the month of March. I feel like there has been some disappointments where you've had to walk away from a few things, because it was a bit of a struggle for you. It felt like it was very stressful, and it was really taking out of your pocket as well for you to have to keep throwing money at certain situations. You had to walk away from those things that were really sort of leaving you stuck in certain positions. And I feel like you've learned from that situation going into the month of March. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's always a good thing, right? Let's have a look and see what's going on for Manisha. Okay. So for the month of March, the main thing that Spirit keeps sort of showing for you is the fact that there's some things that really actually needs to sort of there are some things that needs to be addressed, because I feel like there are some separation. So I'll put it to you like this. I feel like there may have been a split somehow where it's affected your pocket. So there may have been two people in the home, or you may have had a roommate of some sort, and now you guys aren't necessarily in the same place and it's affecting you financially. So stay optimistic about that. That's going to work itself out. It's just going to take you a little bit of time. It's actually going to bring new opportunities to you in terms of the way that you do things going forward, but it is going to be delayed. I don't feel like things are going to directly pick itself up throughout the month of March, but you'll start to see some progress happening throughout the month of March. And I do feel like there will be, I guess, opportunities for you. What I will say, do be mindful about your communication with people, because it seems like you're going to be having a lot of communication breakdown, which makes sense because we're going to have the first Mercury retrograde on the 5th. So next Tuesday, guys, like, make a note in your diary, like, shit's about to hit the fan. It's going to be difficult to communicate with people because everybody's going to be sort of, I guess, going through whatever they're processing in their shadows as well. So just be mindful of that. But it does seem like you're going to have some disruptive communication, Manisha. That's what I'd say. Just be mindful of that. It does feel as well like you're going to be having some unsettling nights. So just find someone that you feel comfortable speaking to so that you can, like, let yourself be completely free, because the one thing about these types of situations, Mercury retrograde can send people off into depression, and we don't want that, you know. But I do feel like there are going to be some things throughout the month of March that will cause you anxiety in a lot of different ways. So just find a really good sounding board so that you can just assist yourself with purging your feelings. Okay, it's going to be important for you throughout the month of March. Okay, Evelyn, sorry, babe. Oh, my bad, Evelyn. Let me go back. I'm so sorry, beautiful. I'm like all over the place if you can't tell. Okay, general reading for Evelyn. Let's have a little look and see. General reading for Evelyn. Okay, Spirit. I feel like I want to give you, do you know what? I'm going to do some energy cards for you, Evelyn. Seeing as you want a general, let's have a look and see what's the energies for you throughout the month of March. I think you wanted a year, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I'm sorry, Harry. Okay, guys. My bad. Let's have a look. Right, so I'm going to pull some cards for Evelyn and have a look and see what is the energies to expect. Okay, so I'm going to say this much. There has been, for you, Evelyn, it seems like there's been a breakdown in your community. So it feels like your friendships have really broken down over the last, I want to say 3 to 4 months, significantly so. And you are indecisive as far as the path that you're at right now. I'm going to say this much, lovely. Like, the people that you cut out, because that's how I even sort of started this segment about being selective of the people that you're around, birds of a feather and all that. Let's have a little look. Let's go down. It's okay, beautiful. That's my bad. Yeah, I feel like those people that you sort of cut out, they were just going to continue to affect you. They felt to me more like takers than givers. Okay, so these people were just constantly with their hands out. Nobody was ready or willing to, like, ever say to you, oh, ever need something from you. They were more or less the kind of people to be like, this is what I need for you, this is what I need from you, all of that kind of stuff. And I feel like they took a lot more than they give to you. And you don't need to be indecisive about those people, because Spirit removed them from your life for a reason. Because let me just sort of show you, okay? For the most part, like, it's, yeah, absolutely, it is okay. I think the it's a case of listening to your intuition, because Spirit is really sort of taking you into a place of realizing that, you know, Angel, I'm going to try and get to you after all this mess, because I've got a few people in line, okay? But the people that were around you, like, they were really affecting your ability to really sort of bring value to yourself, okay? Yeah, no, that's fine, beautiful. You can get added to the list. I'll scroll up and sort of have a look and see. But honestly, Evelyn, what I'd say to you is that this almost feels as well like you may have recently gone through a work transition as well. So I feel like this particular situation is actually going to bring you better opportunities for you to be able to sort of make new financial commitments. I feel like there's going to be new contracts coming your way, contracts that are going to be in your favor. That's what I see for you sort of coming for throughout the year, Evelyn. And I feel like it's going to give you the opportunity. I feel like you're working towards creating some sort of solid foundations as far as a family unit. And that's what you're really that's going to be like the main focus for this year for you. And I feel like there's going to be contracts that are going to be coming in for you to really allow that to come to manifestation. Keep focused on what you're doing, Evelyn. That's what I'd say to you. The people that have been exited from the process, they don't need to be there, girl. You good. Okay, let's have a little look and see who is next in line. Damn, guys. Okay, so, right. Oh. Situationship. I didn't even see that, Kiara. I'm going to say this much. You guys are going to work through the situation. I just feel like it's going to take you guys some time to really sort of be completely honest with each other about what it is that you want. Okay, so Queen Bean. Damn, you guys have been sending them in. I feel like I need a PA, man. Okay, let's have a little look and see who is next. Did that. Yuri, what was your question? I'm having difficulties finding your question. The list. Okay. Got you, Yuri. I'm glad that you're on top of things. I'm glad that you are on top of things. Okay, what will happen? No, thank you, beautiful. Thank you for sort of sticking around for it. Okay, let's see. What will happen for Yuri with Darius? Let's have a look and see. What do you see happening for Yuri with Darius? Oh, that ain't bad, right? That's not bad. I'm going to say this much, though. It feels like you guys are going to have to do some work towards it because somebody's told some lies. I can see that there's been some things that have been unclear for you guys in the past, and that's one of the things that you guys are really trying to work through at the minute. That's important. And right now, you guys are really unsure about where the situation is going to go. So I don't know if this is you or him. I want to say it might have been both. I don't think both of you guys were as open or as honest as you needed to be about where you saw the situation going. But let's have a look. I'm going to sort of like mix it up a little bit and see what's going on completely in the space for you guys. Let me just get these cards to do some stuff, guys. Let's have a little look and see. Okay. Right. Okay. So what I'm going to say is that there's definitely going to be some opportunities for you guys to rekindle this situation. But it's going to take you guys being completely honest with each other. Let's have a look. Darius and Yuri, Spirit. What do you see as far as the outcome for them? Okay. Okay. That is the outcome. You're definitely going to have to be mindful about how you approach the situations because it feels like you guys are like really going through some hostilities at the minute. Yeah, I get the sense that it feels like how can I put it? It feels like there was like a lot of harsh communication before. I don't feel like he deals well with confrontation, so that's why he's been a little bit quiet. I feel like for him, he doesn't necessarily like to be confronted, and I feel like you may have been a little bit confrontational recently, girl. So that's why he's like removed himself from the situation. But I think that that's happened for a good reason. You know, you just really kind of have to take heed of what's going on with the situation at the minute. Right now, he's got your solar plexus all over the place because it's like you're giving all of your energy to the situation. I think be a little bit more patient about, you know, how the situation is going to unfold. Don't push so hard is what I would say. And for the most part, just kind of Yeah, I get that vibe. I get that vibe. So that's why he's just completely shut down, because he just doesn't know how to respond at the minute, you know? And I think for the most part, like, I'm gonna say this to you: if what you were confronting him about, you were prepared to leave him for, then go all in and like be as harsh as you need to get your point across. But if you want to actually work things out with him, just be mindful, because at the end of the day, like, I want to say this, I feel like it almost felt emasculating, because you were hurt and you wanted to make him feel how you felt, and that's okay. But what that does, it causes, like, it's like an explosive energy, and nobody wants to sit in the midst of an explosion. So what I would say is, if this is someone that you want to keep, you need to be a little bit mindful about how you're navigating through the situation. I'm going to say this much. I don't think that things are over just yet. I think that this is just like a minor blip in the road. I'm going to say that much, because I get the sense that you actually don't want things to end. It's going to take you guys a good few months to navigate through this path. It's going to take you guys a good few months to be able to like move forward with the situation. Right now is definitely not the right time for you guys to be communicating, because you're still the wound is still fresh for you, is what I'd say. And I don't think that you are going to be any nicer about it right now. As much as you do want to hear from him, I don't think that you're going to be like any nicer about the situation. So just be patient. Let him, I guess, let him be man enough to come and be ready and willing to confront the situation head on. When he does come through, have a conversation with him, and don't necessarily talk at him, because this is how I'm getting the energy. Like, you were asking him questions and answering your own questions at the same time. Nuh-uh. That's not gonna help. Like, if anything, they run from that kind of shit, because they say they're men, but no, he'll come. He'll come. I think for the most part, he's scared. He's scared because he knows that he fucked up. Okay, he's scared because he knows that he messed up, and he just doesn't necessarily know how to smooth this one over with you. So it's almost like he's giving you time to simmer down. But I don't think he realizes that you're that passionate because you love him that much. You know? Yeah. I think he doesn't really realize that you had a lot invested in the situation. I think that's what you need to make clear to him. Like, let him know, like, look, dude, I'm this passionate about it because, like, you hurt me. Like, I cared so much about you, and you did this to me, and you made me feel like, okay, like, how can someone that I cared about this deeply do something like this to me? Like, now you're giving me, like, issues with trust. Like, you're gonna make me sort of go around here. I don't want to run around being like insecure and shit. Like, that's not who I am. But these are what your actions are doing. So make up your mind. Like, I'm a queen, so treat me as such. Yeah, he definitely gets some wrong hints. He definitely gets it. I'm going to say this as well, though. I think that he's still growing. So give him the space to do that, because he's still young himself and he's still trying to, I guess, find himself. Hey, Kiki. Hey, girl, hey. I think there's so much going on in the room tonight. Let me just go back to Yuri's stuff, because Yuri had like a whole list at the ready. Okay, so Yuri said that there was Hiri, and then there was Yakari, and then there was Pearl. Okay. Damn. Okay, so I can't even see Yakari. Listen, Yakari, if you're still in the room, can you give me an amen? Hallelujah, something. Just like resend your question through, because I'm okay. Here we go. Hey, how should I approach me? Okay, let's have a little look. I'm gonna say this much as far as that situation. I feel like this person's quite shy themselves as well. So don't be okay. I'm gonna do an intuitive for this, because I can feel the person's energy fairly like good. Don't be too overimposing with this person. I think that a gentle approach is what's going to do the situation. I think that they're probably still healing from a past situation themselves as well. So if you go like, straight in, I think basically what I'd say to you is navigate through the process like friends initially. That's probably the one thing that's going to basically get you in the door. And then from there, I feel like slowly but surely this person will then be able to sort of let their guards down enough to let you in, because as the situation is at the minute, I think that they are just not really looking for anything right now, because they're still sort of going through the process of their own situation. But if you give them enough time and be patient with it, just approach it as a friendship initially, and it will give them the opportunity to sort of see that you're here. I guess you're here for them. Okay. No, the room is active, varsity. Absolutely, the room is active as hell, girl. Let's have a little look and see. Okay, so going back to Yuri's Pearl. Okay, so Pearl was next, then we've got Angel, then I might just be up to par with everything. Uh What do you see with me and my Capricorn crush? Some say yes, some say no. Others say yes, but not no. Girl, let's have a little look and see what's going on with this Capricorn. For Pearl, what do you see for Pearl with a Capricorn? Okay. What I am gonna say as far as the situation, I feel like there's still some immaturities. That's what I will say. I feel like this may be you or the other person. I don't know. The younger party in the situation is still maturing, because it feels like you guys know that you guys like each other, but it's like, yes, yeah, pal. Yeah, okay, so this is what I'd say about the situation. This person, you guys are both sort of, I'm younger. No, I get you. I get you, Pearl. Well, it feels like for the most part, there's definitely some blockages in the situation that is going to, I guess, there's going to be a transition with that, but it's going to be through synchronistic measures. I feel like it's going to be divine timing with this one. Do you know what? I'm going to pull some angel cards for you instead, because I can see, I'm going to say this. I feel like it will happen, and I'm going to pull some angel cards because I want to see how, potentially, and when, because this feels more like, yeah, okay, yeah. They are showing that you guys will be able to sort of navigate through the situation, but it's going to require a lot of compromises with the situation. They do have other people that has to be considered with the situation. This may be them or you, but somebody has other people that needs to be considered. There may be a previous family involved or children involved in the situation, and those are some of the compromises that does have to be made with the situation. Yeah, so that's why it's sort of taking you guys some time to really be able to sort of bring this into manifestation as well as you'd like. But things will work out for you guys. You know, it will be successful. I don't think that it's off the cards for you guys. I just think it's not right now because there's so many things to consider. I'm going to say this much. I feel like things are going to continue to unfold for you guys throughout this year. And by I don't want to say the end of the year, but I feel like there's still some things that they need to get in order. I'll put it to you like this, right? As much as they're out of their past situation is not necessarily completely over them. And I feel like that person kind of still has some manipulative tendencies. And, you know, that's why they're being so cautious, basically. You know, this is why Capricorn's being so cautious. There you go. She got some issues. She's got some issues. And I don't think that he's wanting to, like, you know, bring you into the situation until it's completely broken off and completely broken free, because, girl, she is vindictive as hell. No, that's fine. That's okay. Okay. After Pearl, yes, you can, Queen Bean. Do you know what, Queen Bean? I'm gonna let you through because you did stop into the room earlier. So I'm gonna let you have your question. Then I think it's Angel, if I'm not mistaken. Then after Angel, we've got a few things coming. Just be patient, Pearl. Moral of the story is that's what I'm saying. He wants you. I'm gonna say this much. He wants you bad, but He just wants to wrap up everything and make sure that he's free for you, okay? Because listen, she will take him for everything he's got and then some if you're in the picture. So you don't want him being completely broken by the time he gets to you. That's what I'd say to you, beautiful. Okay, so Angel is next. I want to know how Callum feels about me. Okay. Does he like you? I'm going to say this much to you, Angel. I don't feel like he doesn't like you, but I feel like you're giving him a impression of you. I don't know if he's getting the real you. That's what I'd say. I don't know if he's getting entirely the real you, but I think he's interested. Yeah, I think he's interested. I do feel like, I'm gonna say this much. I feel like right now he can't really make up his mind as to whether or not he wants a relationship with you, because like I said, I don't think that he knows like you as such. I think that he knows a version of you that you're giving him, and I think that's why he's still a little bit conflicted. That's why he's still a little bit confused as to whether or not he does want to take things further and actually develop a relationship with you. But he's definitely interested. I think that he is still trying to decide whether or not he wants to give it a go, because I don't know if this is your energy or his, but it feels like someone's like broken promises, man. Someone's like all talk and no action. And it's really conflicting. I want to know how. Yeah, I feel like he likes you. I feel like he likes you, but he's not too sure whether or not you guys can sort of go. Oh no, that's perfectly fine, pal. Thank you. Thank you for stepping in, beautiful. Yeah, I think that he likes you, but he's unsure as to whether or not you guys can actually like develop into a relationship. I think right now things feel blurry. Girl, the cards just popped on the floor, so I'm gonna go and grab that. But for the most part, it feels like you guys are going through a process of actually like integrating with each other. So I do feel like you guys will be able to have a relationship. I do feel like he likes you in that way, but I feel like he's still confused as to whether or not to make a move. You know, you may be sending mixed messages. It's like, you are open, like you're coming in this room and you're letting it be known that you're open to us, right? But it's almost like you're playing hard to get with him, and that's confusing as hell, because it's almost like he likes to chase. Don't get me wrong, like he likes to chase, but at the same time he's still a little bit confused, like, okay, so can we actually develop a relationship from this? Is this going to go anywhere? But I do see you guys being able to continue to the point of actually becoming something towards each other. I do feel like you guys have to be careful, because it's almost like somebody is falling short on their promises. I don't know. It feels like you guys are making arrangements, and one person keeps letting the other person down a lot of the time. So you guys just need to be open with your communication with each other. If you guys aren't going to be able to make something, just kind of let the person know beforehand, rather than them having to come to their own conclusion and make their own assumption about whether or not you're actually into this. Okay, but I do think he likes you. I just think that he is unsure whether or not there's room for a relationship, basically. That's what I'd say about it. Okay, let's have a little look and see who is next after Angel. Damn. Okay, the room's closing down soon, guys. Right. After Angel. Okay. Then I want to say Kiki's next. Are we going to say Kiki's next? Yes, Kiki. Did Kiki leave her question? Can't see Kiki's question in the chat. Jazzy wants a reading. Okay. Damn, guys. Hi, is my DM around me and aware of me? I haven't met him. Okay, let's see. What do you see for Queen Bean as far as her special person? Okay, so there's definitely a soulmate connection. I feel like there's someone that is... Okay, this is how I'm going to put it. It feels like this is someone that is coming into your life, and I feel like they're going to be coming into your life maybe in the next few months as well. I want to say, oh, let's see what this is saying. Okay, funny enough, they're saying that this is someone that you may be meeting potentially in some sort of, how can I put it? It may be like some sort of course setting where you meet this person, but it does feel like this is going to be a very compassionate sort of situation. It's going to be an overwhelming type of love as well, to the point where both of you guys might even find yourselves to be like anxious about it, because it's like you guys will be throwing yourselves so far into the deep end. And I don't think both of you guys are like able to just relinquish control sometimes, you know? No. Go for it, guys. Go for it. Absolutely. So after, I guess, after I finish up Queen Bean, we have Queen Potato, and then we've got Jazzy. Go for your question. Shoot your question, Queen Potato. We'll have a look and see. But yeah, I feel like this person that you'll be meeting, yeah, you'll be meeting them over the next few months. It's going to be some sort of studious-based setting. They're showing me some sort of course setting, and this person's actually going to sort of, they're going to come in at a point where you're almost at the point where you're giving up on love. That's the best way that I can put it, because it feels like they kind of allow you to see the light. Basically, it feels like you get to the point where you're completely burnt out about your romance and how things are really sort of transpiring, and it feels like that's because there was a situation that you kind of were continuing to go back to time and time again, and you decided that you don't want to keep doing that situation anymore. You want to actually allow for yourself to be open to something new. And I think once you make that decision for yourself, that's when you kind of allow for yourself to be open to this new transition with this person, and they come in like a new, completely fresh opportunity, a new sort of wave of energy, and they really just want to sort of, you know, get to know you on a deeper level as you get to know yourself as well, you know. Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. We'll go for Jazzy first and sort of allow for you to go. But let's have, I'm going to put one final card and just sort of see for Queen Bean. What do you see for their love interest? What do you see for their love interest, Spirit? As clearly as you can. Okay. Right, so what we have as far as the love interest is that for you, Queen Bean, things are really going to be moving forward. You're actually going to be reclaiming your power over past situations. Like I said, I feel like there was a situation that took up a lot of your time and energy, but they weren't necessarily really willing to commit. And going forward, the person that you kind of find yourself with as well, I find them to be quite charming, very endearing, very open. This is someone that is spiritually connected to themselves, have a good inner standing of themselves, and they're actually like so open to you going deeper into finding out more and more about yourself, and you guys kind of have the opportunity to grow together. That's what I'd say to you. That feels like such a better situation for you. This feels like a relationship that is more of a long-term relationship. This may be the relationship to create a family with as well, if you're not already in that situation, because one of the things that I did sort of feel in the space is that there may be a family to come from the situation. Okay, let's have a little look and sort of see what's going on. Okay, so the next one to sort of go through the process, let's have a look. Queen Potato, let's have a look and see what was. Okay, nope. I'm going to be doing a general love reading for Jazzy. Okay, let's have a little look. General love for Jazzy. Let's see what's on the cards for Jazzy. General loves. Okay. Right. I'm going to say this much. It feels like you're really quite overwhelmed because of past situations, and that's what kind of has you a little bit overly protected about your situations right now. But it feels like there's somebody that you have your eyes on. There's somebody that you're maybe communicating with, but you're a little bit indecisive about whether or not to take it to the next level with this person, because of the past situations, and you're trying to be like a little bit more, you're trying to sort of be methodical about how you approach a situation because you've been so burnt out and you've given so much to the past. But I'm going to say, don't tarnish this person with the past person's brush, because they're someone completely different, right? Let's have a little look. Let's pull an actual card and see. What do you see? Okay. Jazzy. Let's have a look, Jazzy, and see. Okay, you are going to be able to sort of plan ahead as far as situations. You are going to be able to sort of make connections with people. You are going to be able to make love-based connections, but you have to be mindful of the illusions. You have to be mindful of the temptations that are going to be showing up. I'm going to say this much. I feel like there are people that will show up that you know aren't your type, that you know you don't have time for, that you know you're not interested in. So don't waste your time. Your time's precious, and it's important that you send the right messages to the universe about what it is that you're trying to manifest in terms of your love and romance. So if I'm going to put it to you like this, I feel like over the next few weeks, there's going to be a few how can I put it, distractions kind of coming in at you. Decide what you want from it, okay? Pick out, because I feel like you're going to have to be doing this, okay? Because there'll be like options coming in at you, but you're going to have to really make a decision based on what you want now, as opposed to continuing to just take it all in for the sake of getting some attention. The longer you kind of perpetuate that kind of pattern with a situation, the less options you're going to have in the end. So once the options start coming in, don't sort of get too lost in the sauce and then sort of find yourself getting too distracted by the fact that these people are interested. Okay, that's probably the best thing that I'd say to you. But there will be the opportunity for you to really actually meet someone nice, someone that's really in connection with you. Oh no, that's fine, beauty queen. You know, we're gonna sort of come through to that. Let's have a little look. Okay, Queen Potato. Hey, Queen. Give me your question. Okay. Let's have a little look. What does Bashar... Okay. Anika. Let's have a little look and see for Anika. What does Bashar... Okay. What does Bashar feel for Anika? Let's have a look and see. Okay. I feel like you guys are a good match. I feel like you guys are quite compatible. I do feel like you guys definitely need to sort of, how can I put it? You guys need to sit down and have a proper discussion about what it is that you guys really want from each other. But I do feel like he sees potential with you, and I feel like I'm going to say this much. It feels stressful right now with you guys not having the conversations that you want to be able to have with each other. Because I feel like they quite like you. The room is lit, varsity. The room is lit as hell. My ass was supposed to be gone. Yeah. I feel like they see potential with you. But I'm going to say this, Anita. The shit was stressful as hell, but I feel like you guys are putting too much pressure on each other. It's like, and I want to say that this felt more like societal pressures than how you guys really felt about each other. I think that both of you guys, for the most part, was quite chilled, but it's almost like, you know, what you needed to be doing by this stage of your life or that stage of the relationship became more important than how you guys actually felt about each other. And it was more the fear of the unknown that felt stressful, because you guys weren't necessarily making plans as you would like to see them come to manifestation. Yes, but you guys had love for each other. So I feel like you guys, I'm going to say this, it felt like you guys were focused on the wrong things. You know, it felt like you guys had the love for each other, but there wasn't really like a clear sort of there wasn't really a clear path in terms of like where you guys were going to take the situation. You guys didn't really have enough discussions to be able to sort of make that clear, and that's why things kind of like really started to, I guess, deplete over time. But for the most part, let's have a look and see what's the future outcome for that for Anita. What's the future outcome for Anita and Bashar's spirit? Let's see. Let's just make that clear, guys. And oh, okay. Okay. Anika. Okay. Thank you, beautiful. My bad. It does, I'm gonna say this much. It does feel like you guys will be able to like move past the resentment. It feels like you guys will be able to sort of get to a place where you guys aren't so lonely, because I do feel like there's obviously some isolation. I don't know how well you guys have been communicating through this process. I feel like there's a lot of ego involved, and it's like neither of you guys want to reach out to the other, because it's like, oh, I want her to contact me first, or I want him to contact me first. And yeah. um I think for the most part with the situation, there's some forgiveness that really needs to sort of take place with the whole process. I have no idea what this is. Well, Ben, I'm doing a free one question reading. So that was your question. Was that your question, Ben? Okay, if you want a question, pop your question in and I will get through to it as and when I get a minute. But this feels like this is something. No, Beauty Queen, I got you. I got you. It is tarot readings. Thank you, Varsity. You're so dope. Yeah, it feels like for the most part, this is a situation that is, the best way that I can put it is that things are thank you. It feels like things are really sort of going through a transition for you guys, and I feel like forgiveness is probably the biggest process to all of this. I do feel like he's shut down because he doesn't necessarily know how to deal with the pain that he's feeling with the situation. It just felt like the easiest thing to do. No, they are not Pokemon cards. Do love a bit of Pokemon, but they're not. They're tarot cards. But yeah, I feel like for you guys, this is actually the opportunity for you to maybe even be open to something new in the situation, because for the most part I do feel like he's very sort of closed off at the minute, and that's because he likes to be in control of the situation. And right now he's going through, like, it feels like a temporary depression with the situation. He's completely burnt out, and I think for him right now he just feels like things are just, they've ended up being so disastrous with both of you guys, where he just kind of wants to reclaim his power and reclaim himself basically. Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that the situation, what I'll say is this, like, there was a lot of high expectations with the situation and you guys are going through a transition with it. I'm going to say this. I feel like for him, being completely honest, I feel like for him the situation is has ended. Is it a religious thing? I utilize spirit, if you want to call it that, you know. But yeah, I think for you guys, for him, the situation's over. So I think for you, it's more a case of you going through a transition to be open to the change of what's to come with the situation. That's what I'd say to you, Anika. Because right now he's feeling like the only way that he's going to be able to get control of the situation is to be able to be done with it. Okay, I think his ego's bruised as well, significantly. I don't know the details of the breakup, but I feel like his ego's been bruised significantly, and that's why he's had to shut himself off, because for the most part, he feels like that's the only way that he's going to feel like a man, basically, about it. Okay, that's what I'd say to you, but be open to the transition, because I don't feel like it's a bad thing. I just think that it's a learning curve. That's probably the best way that I can put it. Let's have a little look and see. Who was next? Damn. Uh, Queen Bean, I've done. Okay. Beauty Queen. Okay, Beauty Queen. Throw your question at me, Beauty Queen, if it's not already in the live. And let's just get that done and out the way. And I think that's it. Either way, guys, I need to be wrapping up the room because things are like super high and energetic. Let's have a look, Beauty Queen. I don't know if you've like already popped your question in, but if not, then definitely throw your question at me and I'll be able to see what I can come up with as far as guidance. Oh, Lolo. Hi. Do you know that pressing the tip of your nose can have benefits for the heart system? It's a, that's nice to know. Thank you for sharing, Lolo. I appreciate you. Beauty Queen, what type of drug? There we go. Thank you, Beauty Queen. Okay, let's have a little look for you. Okay, I'm going to say this much. I feel like you're going to be utilizing more of your creative aspect. I don't know what you do. Okay. It feels like you're going into something that you've revisited from the past. So I'm going to say this. It feels like you're going to be picking up an old passion. That's what I'd say about the situation. I feel like what's just ended for you gives you an opportunity to revisit something that you used to do creatively. I want to say it's somehow involved in some sort of beauty, because that's what I'm seeing. They're showing me sort of like the whole hair makeup stuff. I don't know if that's sort of like something that you used to do previously or if that's a personal passion of yours, but I see you becoming more of a creative. I'm going to say this much. It feels like the next sort of situation that you find yourself in, as far as work situation, is something that you're passionate about. It feels like you are finding yourself being in more of a position to be self-employed than anything else. Let's have a little look for Beauty Queen. Next job. What do you see, Spirit? Okay. Okay. We've got jumpers, so there's clearly some stuff. Okay. Right. Yeah, I do feel like you're going to be sort of going back into some things. That's pretty much what the cards are showing. There was something that you kind of stopped yourself doing because it felt like you needed to focus on what was going to bring you the coins. And I think going forward, you get to revisit that one thing that like you're passionate about. And now you're going to really get the opportunity to be able to that's what I mean when I say jumpers. They kind of fly all over the place. Okay, spirit's active. um but yeah, it feels like you're going to really get back to a place where you're really considering yourself and what it is that you want, as opposed to continuing to, I don't want to say people please, but it feels like you were like chasing what was going to bring the money in, and it wasn't sort of doing you justice. It wasn't making you happy. It wasn't pleasing your spirit. It does feel like you're going to be revisiting an old passion. That's just the best way that I can put it across to you. That's all they're showing me. An old passion, an old passion. It's something that is a creative outlet for you. So really kind of focus on that, because I can see right now you're looking at it like it's a hopeless like path for you, like there's no way that you can actually go ahead and do that. But that's because you're looking at it from, yes, that's probably why I felt like you were going to be doing I feel like you are, yeah, no, that's fine, go for it, Ben, that's okay. This is what I'd say to you, Beauty Queen. I feel like you will be at a point with a situation where you may be self-employed, where you have your own station at a boutique, because you seem like someone, this is how I'm feeling the energy, right? You're someone that takes pride in your appearance, and I don't know if personal shopping or personal shopper is something that you're interested in doing, but it feels like something along those lines. It just feels like something that's really sort of a creative aspect. Will it be in a boutique? They're saying no. um okay. Okay. They're saying that it won't be in a boutique because you're actually going to be finding yourself something where it's solely reliant on you. This is just what they're showing me. I don't know if you've really given any consideration to self-employment, but your angels, your guides are really sort of working you to navigate through that process of self-employment. That's where they're taking you. And I think it's scary. Yeah, that's kind of, I don't know if that's something that you've ever thought about before, but it feels like they're really taking you into a place where you are your own boss, because it's important to how you're able to navigate through the process for yourself. And why they're also doing that for you as well is because you may have issues with authority from time to time, you know, and it would just be a little bit easier for you to sort of have your own scope of things where you know what's going on when, where you can dictate how things kind of unravel for you. But yeah, definitely maybe think about the personal shopper things. Yeah, yeah. I don't think you're in the right place either. I feel like there's something that is it's just not you. It's not who you are as a creative. I think that you're someone that's much more creative than what you're showing up as at the minute, and I feel like what you're doing right now, yeah, it pays the bills, but it's just not who you are. So maybe revisit some of the things that you like to do creatively, because they're showing me that there's a lot that you have as far as your creative talents. So revisit some of those things, because they're saying that there's definitely the opportunity for you to make some money through doing that as well. And you could maybe keep your current situation going and do that on the side until you can maintain that as like a sole venture. But at the minute, if you continue on the path of what you're doing and solely focus on that, it's just going to continue to like really affect you. I feel like it was in DC or I call I would. Yeah. What I'd say to you is, if your guides have moved you away from somewhere, yeah, don't put it on hold. Maybe this location where you are now is the right location for you to really sort of seed this into light. You know, sometimes we get so caught up on like making sure that all the fine details are actually like perfect, and spirit's like, what the hell do I need with perfection? This is why I created imperfect human beings, you know, because we just kind of need to just be open to certain, I guess, opportunities as they present themselves to me. There was no money involved, so I tried to go. I get you. What I will say to you is, I would recommend, as far as you getting started with the situation, I would recommend that you I feel like where you are is probably a better location for you to start that. No, I get that. I get that. That's why I say that I feel like you need to be doing something. I feel like you need to be doing this creative venture on the side as opposed to making it your main focus, because it's going to take you a while to actually like, you know, get the kind of finances that you need to be able to sustain yourself. But I think definitely if you've got your portfolio already, like start putting that out there to some agencies. Start really sort of, girl, it's so easy to get work these days. Like seriously, social media is your own means of online business. Like you just kind of have to really sort of sit down and give it the time, be dedicated to the process, because it is going to take a while for you to be able to sort of see things actually come to full manifestation for you. But I think that you've got the potential. I definitely feel like you've got the potential. Will there be a Lion King too? I hope so. Damn, I hope so. Okay? Not anytime soon, Ben. Sadly. They're doing us no justice. We don't get to find out what happens with Simba. Okay? But thank you for asking. And that oh no, indeed. I feel your pain, Ben. Definitely. Definitely. Just decide to be a little bit more selfish, okay? Is what I'd say to you, beauty queen. Okay? Because you have given up on your dreams just because you needed to do what was going to, I guess, pay the bills and make other people feel comfortable. And that's not feeding your soul or spirit. Okay, I think that everyone in the room, I actually went over, guys, like I'm almost 20 minutes over my hour, so I'm gonna pull a final card for everyone. And yes, varsity, you know it's been a bit of a whirlwind over then, so I'm gonna pull a final card as far as like advice, and this is going to give us some kind of guidance as far as a scripture to, I guess, keep us going until we meet again. Okay? And Spirit's just reminding you to acknowledge God's truth, and focus on your blessings, because like I said, we're about to go into Mercury retrograde on the 5th of this month, so on Tuesday, and people are really going to be showing, I don't want to say their true selves, but they're going to be showing the darker reflections of themselves. And throughout that time, it's going to require a lot of our patience. It's going to require a lot of our ability to be able to not act outside of our character, even if they act outside of theirs, trying to trigger some shit for us. Well, unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be, Ben. But as far as the guidance for us, guys, and again, I couldn't have said it better myself, so I'm glad that Spirit put it out there. Use loving, strength, and discernment. Okay? I'm not trying to win the approval of people, but of God. If pleasing people were my goal, I would not be Christ's servant. And that's Galatians chapter 1, verse 10. Okay, so just be mindful of that, guys. You know, as people show their true colors, you might need to retreat from the outside world. And by that, what I pick up from that, as far as like the message there from Spirit, is that as people's demons, because that's what's going to happen, guys. Okay, people are going to be, it's going to be a shit show over the next, I want to say, 4 weeks. Right now, if you guys are having any sort of conflicting energy with anyone at the minute, that shit is going to continue to erupt over the next few weeks, simply because we are literally going into Mercury retrograde, and that means that there's going to be a lot of disruptive communications. It's almost like we're not going to be able to hear each other because we're going to be so lost in our shadow versions of ourselves. So just be mindful. Yes, it is. It is retrograding in our sign. I'm a Piscean, so for the most part, like, just be mindful because your mind space is going to be very foggy. It's going to be very cloudy. You may have issues with like your phone. I find that a lot of people sort of lose their phone during Mercury retrograde, leave it in places. Yeah. Yep. It's definitely, this is why I'm like giving a forewarning, Varsity. This is why I'm giving a forewarning. Like, it's going to be a really, I feel like it's going to be a really intense one. Also, be mindful of anything that you were, you know, dealing with throughout the last retrograde of the, well, Mercury retrograde, Ben. So to sort of explain retrogrades are basically like the planet was going, it was going direct and it was creating a path for itself, and then all of a sudden it decided to we're sort of closing up shop, Kiara, but email me personally, shakima8@gmail.com, and I'll be able to have a look in for you, because I believe I did actually sort of do your question, but email. But yeah, so the planet's going direct on its axis, and then it kind of decides, okay, I think I forgot something back there. So it then falls back on its axis, and it starts to, I guess, show all the things that may be disruptive to the part that it was creating, and as above so below, you know. So basically, Varsity, basically, because things will get like really, I will, Kiara, I will, absolutely. Things will get really quite intense, and for the most part, people around you as well during the Mercury retrograde cycle, they kind of get foggy in their mind space, their third eye. It's almost like they kind of go into a darkness themselves, and they can't really see like the path that they were creating themselves as well, and then they start to panic. Then it becomes a shit show, and then people feel the need to like communicate and speak from their darker reflections of themselves, rather than just be in their light despite the shadows. Well, your electronics are going to be, I don't want to say playing up, but, you know, keep your eye on stuff like your phone, because your phone may just go missing. It might just find itself into another dimension. Okay, so just keep your eye on your stuff, and keep your eye on your tongue, and keep your eye on your communication with people. Just keep an eye out. And these things aren't necessarily a bad thing. It's just, it gives us the opportunity. Well, there you go. Nothing changes for you in that case, Ben. But it really gives us the opportunity to basically sort of, you know, not just see our true colors, but see other people's true colors, and then utilize those opportunities to learn our lessons, because things show up, lessons and blessings. And for the things that even are lessons, those are blessings in disguise as well. We just kind of need to find the gem in the rough, basically, with those situations. So we are going to have a few lessons to come over the next few weeks. So I am sending you guys divine love, light, and positive energy and intention. I'm going to pull a final angel card for you guys as well, actually, just to close out the space. Again, the scripture for everyone, Galatians chapter 1 verse 10. If we want to focus on using God's loving strength and discernment with the situation. And the final... Oh, I didn't, Calvin. Unfortunately, I did not. And I'm actually just closing out shop. I have actually performed an exorcism, but that's for tools for using Tools Tuesday. I'll actually be able to disclose the details of that. I had some assistance doing an exorcism on, for lack of a better way of putting it, doing an exorcism on myself because I took on someone's demon willingly. It was a willing process for me because they were having difficulty navigating through the process of that demon, and I took on that shadow so that I can alchemize it for them, so that they can be free of the energy, basically, because it was causing them psychotic episodes. It is scary, but honestly, this is like my lineage's work, so you get used to it, I guess. But the angel guidance for us, guys, tune in on Tuesday. That's a whole other, I guess, episode to really sort of give you guys, I guess, some tools for navigating through essentially, I want to make this clear as well. When I'm speaking about demons, I'm talking about lower vibrational forms of ourselves. I'm talking about entities that attach themselves to our I'm talking about entities that attach themselves to our ego, and it really just kind of it affects our ability to create, because then our perspective gets lost in that ego in that moment. Okay, but I'll be able to digress all of the information for you guys on Tuesday. Now I know that is what I shall be doing on Tuesday, so tune in for that. But the angel guidance for us, guys, just to close out the space, because you guys keep dragging my attention back in, but the advice is just to let go and let God. Okay, like, just know that every single thing that kind of shows up is giving us an opportunity to tap into our potential, and it's not personal. It's simply for the purpose of our own personal evolution, and God believes in us. We just have to navigate to that point where we believe enough in ourselves to be able to show up in the way that God has faith in us. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Thank you guys for being awesome. Thank you guys for utilizing all of my energy. That was highly intense. Well, there you go. 11/11 indeed. But that's where I'm sort of closing out the space, guys. Thank you guys for being awesome. I send you guys love, light, positivity, sending you peace and blessings for the rest of, I guess, the journey. Have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the last bit of it. Thank you for stopping in, Varsity. You are a trooper. And thank you guys for just being awesome. Okay? God bless you all. Mwah. Until next time.